Hello, my name is Ben Bresky, and you're listening to The Beat here on IsraelNationalRadio.com. This week we have an interview with Infected Mushroom. Infected Mushroom, are you there on the line?
Yes, hello.
How are you doing? So, first of all, why don't you two tell us what your names are and where you're from?
Okay, I'm Amit Duvdevani, and I'm from Kiryat Motzkin in the north of Israel.
Okay.
I'm Erez Eisen from Kiryat Yam, from the north as well.
Okay. And we are going to give away free copies of the new CD, Im the Supervisor. You can call us toll-free in Israel, 1-800-270-4288. In the U.S. and Canada, 1-800-270-4288. In England, 00-800-3700-7000. And in Australia, 00-11-800-3700-7000. Also, here in the studio with me, I have Hannah.
Hey, what's up?
And she's going to help me. Also, thank you to Natan, who helped me out this week with the show. And hello to Mike and all the other listeners out there. So, why don't you tell us what's different about this album? Because I do think it's different than your previous ones.
I think this album goes more to the original sound of Infected Mushroom, like more fast beats for the dance floor, a little bit more hard than the last album, Converting Vegetarians, but it's in a new way. It was produced in a new studio, and mainly for the dance floor, this album.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of your songs on this album and on previous albums, it feels like you get into a great groove to dance to, and then suddenly it switches to something completely different.
Yeah, we try to make it a little bit interesting, because not only that you can listen to this track on the dance floor, that you can listen to the house. So that's why we involve a lot of, like classic sounds inside and stuff that you can listen in the house as well, and not only on the dance floor.
Okay. I think to start out the show, I'm going to play the song Stretched.
Okay.
That's off the new album. Is there any story behind that, like that woman's voice or anything?
Not so much a story, but this is like a continuance to we had in the third album, which is called BPM by a track in the end called Dancing with Gaddafi. That was a mellow track to finish that album, and this one is Stretch is in the same idea, to finish a very hard dance floor album in a kind of a chill out track in the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to listen to that, and if the listeners want to call up, feel free to. This is Infected Mushroom, and you're listening to The Beat, Israel National Radio. Why don't you guys tell us, one of the guys in the other room, he was like, what are all those weird electronic noises? And maybe you could tell us how you think up like all these little bleeps and boops and stuff.
We don't think too much. We just love them. Every noise, we're really addicted to it, and we're doing it with a lot of fun. So no much meaning behind it. We just like the sounds. That's it.
But there's real instruments, like that guitar, is that real?
The guitar is, no, this one specifically is not real. It's a synthesized guitar.
Do you guys play real instruments on your albums?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Like piano, guitars, saxophones, violins. Duvdev sings.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
On what track do you sing?
Well, there is in the Muse Breaks remix for Violet Vision, I sing in the middle, Cities of the Future.
That's you on that Cities of the Future?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of these songs, I don't think on the old albums you really had singing or lyrics,
Well, this started, I think, in the Converting Vegetarians album, when we done the other side, and we did I Wish and Converting Vegetarians, then I started more singing. We used to do a lot of vocals, even in the previous albums, but not as singing, I think this is stuff that we started to do in the last 2 years, and I think for us it's a new sound in the music. That's it, not too much message in the words, only a new sound for us.
Do your fans like it, or do they say they miss the old Infected Mushroom?
Well, half of the fans miss the old Infected, half of the fans like it. This is always when you produce a new album, there is some like, some against, but in the end they all like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chana, you got any questions?
I just want to know where you get the energy for your music, because when I've been listening to it for the past few years, whenever I hear it, no matter what it's been, it's made me want to move, either just like move my head or dance. Where does the energy come from, and how do you keep it going?
It usually comes from the parties that we play at. After we come from a very strong party, so we have a lot of energy to make a new powerful track. At least this is the idea to make, yeah? But from the parties, from the people, we get this energy.
So you feed them and they feed you?
What?
You feed them and they feed you?
Yeah.
Exactly. I think this is the only way to, when you travel so much and perform so much in the world, you see the tracks that people like and some of the tracks that they don't like, and from that you get the influence to make new ones.
How do you perform on stage? Are you up there with keyboards and computers?
Exactly. We have computers and keyboards, and now we have a microphone. We added in the last show Erez, which is a very special guitarist from Israel, so he plays guitars with us. And we evolve our show each year. We try to make it more of a show than only two guys with computers and keyboards.
You've, I guess, been all over the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think your sound comes from where you're from in Israel? I mean, is there a North sound or a Tel Aviv sound?
Well, I used to think that before, but I don't think so. I think the Israeli sound is quite Israeli, There is no difference between North and South, but there is a difference between the Israeli sound and the European sound. I think the trance music that is produced in Israel, it's a little bit more melodic and a little bit more fast, because we are like influenced from the Mediterranean kind of sound, and in Europe it's a little bit different. It's more progressive, less melodies. So that, I think, is the difference between Israeli music and the rest of the world.
Do people in the other countries, do they pick that up? I mean, can they listen to a track and be like, that's Israeli trance?
Today, of course, that the Israeli full-on is known all around the world, and people go very fast knowing that, they really know that this is like Asterix or Infected or Skazi and all the Israeli bands. They know it really straight away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is your name Infected Mushroom?
This is a story that we tell so many times. There was a band before us called Infected Mushroom.
Oh, I remember that. They were like punk rock.
Exactly, and they used to make punk rock and new wave, and then they broke up, went to London, and then me and Erez started to do music, and we really liked the name, so we took it.
Do you know those guys now?
Yeah, I know one of them.
Are they angry at you?
They was a little bit angry, but very late. Only in the beginning, didn't say nothing, but only in the BP Empire album, third album, they was a little bit angry, but nothing to do. And all is okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to play some more music, and then we'll be back with Infected Mushroom. Again, if you want to win a copy of their new CD, you can call in Israel 1-800-270-4288, or in the U.S. 1-800-270-4288. Okay, we are back on the air with Infected Mushroom. That track was called Yom Huledet. Is there a story behind that?
Well, maybe there is a story behind it, but this is an original song by Barry Sakharov that we only remixed, so maybe there is a story, but the story is his, so we don't know really.
When you came out with that album with Barry Sakharov, what did people think?
Well, it was a single that we done with him for a special show in Israel. It was a very big hit, and I think most of the people in Israel liked it.
But again, did people say not like it because it wasn't like the hardcore trance?
Exactly. This is always when we do something like that, and there is some of the fans that don't like it, but I think in general the most took it very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to team up with any other Israeli singers?
We teamed up again with Barry Sakharov and Rami Fortis this time when we did a new version for another track called En Ketzla Yaldut, which will come out very soon. But most of the time we work on new Infected Mushroom material because we don't have time.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you guys perform, I see a lot of times it's just Duvdev or just Erez.
Yeah. This is happening only in Israel because here in Israel to make a live show, it's a bit hard, for the promoters and stuff. So we split out in Israel as DJs. So sometimes you can see DJ Duvdevani or DJ Erez, but outside of Israel, when we perform, it's only Infected Mushroom together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chana, any questions?
So, actually, when I first heard you guys, it was from a friend in the Canadian underground scene.
This is the story of how Chana first heard of Infected Mushroom.
Okay.
So I was in Canada visiting a friend, and he was in the Canadian underground scene, and he said, "Wow, you've just come from Israel. My favorite band is from Israel." And I said, "Who?" And they said Infected Mushroom. And I ran home, and I just played everything, and it was great. And I'm just wondering, outside of Israel, where are your favorite places, and where are you accepted the best?
Well, today we are accepted in many countries around the world. If you mention Canada, and we had really amazing tour around there in the beginning, like 2 months ago, and it was amazing. We're accepted in many places in the world. I think Mexico is our biggest fan base, and Japan as well. And
Mexico?
Yeah,
Japan?
we have a very big fan base over there. And for me and Erez, we get accepted. For us, it's to come to see a very good party with people dancing really, really with good energy. So for us, it's the best way to be accepted. So there are many places like that in the world today.
Okay.
Yeah.
When is your next show coming up?
When we are playing this week separately in Israel, and then we are flying to New York. We're playing Thanksgiving in the Avalon, which is next Wednesday. Then from there, 2 days after, we play in Hungary, and then we go to Belgium, and then come back again to Israel.
A long list.
Go to Brazil, and then again to stay. We're playing in the New Year in Canada, in Montreal, so a lot of gigs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have about 4 minutes until the news, and then we're going to continue with the second half of the show, so maybe I'll play a little music. This is going to be that song Psycho.
Okay.
And I was told, this is before I got to Israel, but this was a huge hit in the clubs.
This is our biggest hit of Infected Mushroom. I think it's the most known track in trance ever.
I gotta say, when I first heard this song, I didn't get it. It was like repetitive,
Yeah, for me and Erez, we until today don't understand why it's such a big hit, but it was. So.
But it's your song.
Yeah, no, but we don't understand what is so hit about it, but it was, so I cannot argue with the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's Psycho from Infected Mushroom's first album. You're listening to The Beat on Israel National Radio. Erez, Eisen, and Amit Duvdevani from Infected Mushroom. And we're going to take a phone call. This is Michael from Missouri. Michael, you're on the air.
Shalom, how are you today?
Very good.
Okay. And what is your question? Or do we still have Michael from Missouri? Okay, well, I don't know if that phone call is going through or what, but you can call back in the U.S. and Canada, 1-800-270-4228, and in Israel, 1-800-270-4288. We are giving away copies of Infected Mushroom's new CD. So Infected Mushroom. I understand that you guys were like classically trained musicians as kids.
Yeah.
You played the piano?
Yeah.
And how did you get from like classical piano to this?
Just, I think the computers, we wanted to make music on a computer, and there was only a computer. We didn't have any equipment or anything, so you have only electronic sounds. And somehow we came to trance music.
Were you into any other kind of music?
Yeah, many kinds. Like heavy metal, rock, everything.
I was interested in heavy metal because some other trance musicians I interviewed in Israel, they said they were all into heavy metal and then they all went over to trance.
Yeah.
That was for you too?
Yeah, I think almost everyone came to trance from heavy metal. At least the people I know.
I don't know if, from my perception, heavy metal was ever really popular in Israel. Or...
Well, it was very, very popular, but no, I think in the last 5 or 6 years, trance became much, much more popular. But for us, it was a change from heavy metal and rock, and then we went into trance.
Do you think there's any reason in particular, like this electronic dance music is so popular in Israel?
I think psychedelic trance is like very good to take pressure with, you know, and this is a very country when you live and you have a lot of pressure, so if you want to take it out in the end of the week, I think psychedelic trance is very good for that.
Okay. I think we're going to play another track here. This is Dancing with Gaddafi.
Yeah.
Where did you get that name from?
It was a funny name that we thought of many years ago. We said if we can dance with Gaddafi, you can dance anywhere in the world, so...
Okay. Yeah. What did people say about that? Did they get it?
Well, yeah, I think so. It was a very popular track as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here it is. This is from their album BP Empire. You're listening to The Beat. Yehoshua, you are on the air.
Hi, Ben. How you doing?
So what do you think of this group Infected Mushroom?
It's wonderful. I've never heard the group before. I mean, I heard some techno before, but I've never heard anything coming from Israel, you know, techno and trance. It's nice. I have my speakers in the computer blasting.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Now, you want to hear the sticker song?
Yes, yeah, you promised me last week.
I know.
But whenever you finish, you know, close to the end of the show, so we can still listen to more of the Infected Mushroom.
Infected Mushroom, do you like the sticker song?
What is the sticker song?
By Hadag Nahash.
From Hadag Nahash. I don't know. Yeah, quite nice, yeah.
Should I play it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Yehoshua, anything else?
I see. Hatzlacha to the guys from Infected Mushroom. It's a wonderful group. I hope, you know, one day they can come to Miami and play in some of the areas down here.
I suppose you win a free CD since you have called the show. So, and also I believe Michael, the previous caller, also won a free CD. If you don't call back, maybe you email us. Our email address is bbresky@israelnationalradio.com. My name is Ben Bresky here on israelnationalradio.com. And if you have any other questions or comments, you can feel free to email me. I know we had a request to get T-Pex on the show. Their lead singer is coming out with a solo album, and that's not till next month, so I guess we'll have to wait till next month to interview T-Pex. But we do have a lot of good musicians coming up. We're going to have more live bands in the studio, so stay tuned here on The Beat. So, Hannah, you want to continue our interview here?
Yeah, so one of the songs that I really, really liked, and I'm sorry I don't remember the name, I'm not good with them, there's this little girl's voice on. It's a fantastic song, and the voice just adds so much to the song. Do you ever have family and friends come on as voices on your songs to add something?
Long ago, I had my little sister singing.
Yes, I think this is the track that you mean, yeah.
Yeah, making like weird voices in the background, like a bit scary voices.
It was fantastic, though.
Yeah, thanks. By the way, we're going to play in Miami at 24th of December for the other caller that just called, so...
We're going to be there, yeah.
Okay. And the your website, by the way?
It's infected.co.il.
Okay. And what about sometimes in the tracks you have little movie quotes?
Yeah, this we stopped a little bit in the last album, the one before. You don't have it. We used to do it in the past, but we stopped doing it. You know, because then it goes straight and you relate the track to the movie, and it was not always the point. So we stopped doing it. We do our own vocals and voices today.
Do you think some of your tracks are like movie soundtracks in a way, or are you thinking of...
We hope to think so, you know, because we really want to do soundtracks for movies in the States and stuff like that, but we didn't until today do it so seriously. We're going to do it more seriously, I think, in the next couple of years.
Any movies in particular?
We really like science fiction movies, so if somebody is hearing us, we are open to suggestions.
I think in some of the songs it sounds like the monster's coming. Here it's coming.
Yeah.
It's, you know, like there's a theme in the music.
So if we are open to do that, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hannah, anything you want to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to know what bands influenced you in different stages of your music.
I think we are influenced a lot from the Depeche Mode and from the thrash metal. We listen to Dream Theater. From the chill out scene, we are from Simon Posford, which is hallucinogen. And for today, we listen to a lot of music like System of the Dawn, Linkin Park. We listen to MTV a lot to take some stuff of the serious productions over there. So we're influenced from a lot of stuff.
What about a guy that wants to do this kind of music? I mean, all he needs is a computer?
In the beginning, all he needs is a good computer, good programs, and to work a lot and to do music, because in the beginning he will be very bad, but after he will do more and more and more, I think eventually he will do some good stuff.
And like a keyboard?
Well, you don't need a keyboard today for the beginning, you know. Even if you are a player, it will help you, you know, to have a keyboard. If you are used to a keyboard that you have in your house, it will be more easy to write the melodies on, but you can do it on the computer as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that question? Oh, how did you two meet? Oh, and another question. I understand when we have a caller. Okay, I guess I'm going to go to a call first before the question.
Okay.
This is Natan in Samaria.
How's it going, man?
How are you?
Good, and you?
Oh, Natan, how are you doing?
Yeah, man.
So what do you think of this music?
Oh, man, it's fantastic. Everyone I know loves this stuff, bro. You guys have got to go to South Africa, I tell you that.
Well, we are coming on the 4th of December 2005. We're going to be on the big Vortex party next year, so we're
fantastic. I'll make a plan of getting there.
Okay, cool.
Natan, where in South Africa are you from?
I'm from Durban.
Okay.
Heard of that place on the East Coast?
And where is it that you're playing?
We are playing on the Vortex party in Cape Town, which is a big party every year in the end of the next year of 2005. So it's already a closed date. We're going to be there.
Okay. Natan, am I supposed to give you a free CD now?
For sure.
What's that?
Are you the winner? You want a free CD?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, email me your mailing address. That's bbresky at israelnationalradio.com. Anything else?
No. Just how's it all to all the Malaysian people there? Keep strong, keep well.
Hey, Natan.
That's Hannah. Okay, Natan, thank you.
Thank you.
Now I want to ask you, Erez, when the first album came out, you were 16?
Yeah.
How old are you now?
Now I'm 24.
And was that, like, I mean, were you famous at age 16?
What do you mean?
I mean, did suddenly everyone know your name and stuff?
Not in the beginning. In the beginning it was, no, nobody knows you at the beginning. You're really small. But I think after the second album, Classical Mushroom, people were starting to know both of us really well.
And you were still in high school?
I was, but I wasn't spending so much time in school.
He was supposed to be in the high school.
More time in the studio.
What did your parents say about that?
Of course, I didn't support it in the beginning, but because I wasn't sure if it's going to be, if it's serious or not. And I can understand that. But after a while, when they saw that there is a beginning of success, so they started to say, you know, what can you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I guess I'm going to play the song Scorpion Frog. And the violin in the beginning of the song, is that you playing it?
It's a synthesizer as well, and we are playing it, yeah.
You personally are playing it?
No, both of us. Like we are fighting a lot on the melodies, and in the end, we are compromising on something in the middle.
I like that, like fighting on the melodies. It's like a movie soundtrack.
Yeah.
I can see the Scorpion Frog like coming up, you know, as the music is playing. Any comments on that?
Well, no, I think everybody has their own feeling about the track. Me and Erez, when we do it, we don't think about so much. We just think of the weird sound and to make it really strong for the dance floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's more Infected Mushroom here on The Beat. Okay, we are back on the air with the members of Infected Mushroom, Erez, Eisen, and Amit Duvdevani. You guys have any final words about your music or anything?
Not so many words. I hope people will like and be open-minded to what we do, because we're going to change from album to album. At least we hope so. So continue with us.
Okay. When is your album after this going to be released?
Well, there is no plans yet, because we are only in the beginning of working on this project. So maybe in the end of next year.
Are you going to ever change completely drastically and like come out with jazz music or something?
Well, I don't know about jazz, but maybe electronic psycho jazz. So this maybe.
Okay, Chana, any final questions?
Just keep doing what you're doing. It's fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Infected Mushroom, thank you very much for being on. Once again, their website is www.infected-mushroom.com. And if you have any questions for me, your host, Ben Bresky, my email address is bbresky@israelnationalradio.com. So I guess we're going to fulfill this request for the bumper sticker song by Hadag Nahash. Is I want you, the listeners, to call up and give me your little CD reviews, and maybe I even want to have like guest hosts. Like, why should I have all the fun? Maybe someone out there in Missouri or something wants to be the host for the day. We have Udi Davidi, who is a musician. He plays guitar and sings, and he's going to be on a future show. And also we have a group called Acharit Hayamin. You've been listening to The Beat on IsraelNationalRadio.com. My name is Benjamin Bresky. You can email me at bbresky@IsraelNationalRadio.com. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. The most exciting new group in Israel is Infected Mushroom. Next week on The Beat, check out our exclusive interview with the kings of Israeli trance. Erez Eisen and Amit Duvdevani are Infected Mushroom. Tune in to The Beat November 14th, live 6 p.m. Israel time, 11 a.m. New York time, for Infected Mushroom and a chance to win their brand new CD.
I'm the supervisor. Get me the taxi number.
Only on IsraelNationalRadio.com.